Hey there, fellow wedge shavers. Brian here at the Wedge Shave Experience. Thank you so much for tuning in today's video. In today's video, we will be featuring Lothur Grooming in the Calm scent, along with the matching Splash. Those of you who've been around a while, this was one of the original scents that Lothur released last year. This is actually in my jar, is in version 1 of the soap. There's now a version 2 of the base. I think version 2, he just kind of upped the density a little bit. And also, I think maybe the scent strength, a small amount. But anyways, it's a very nice scent. And then the splashes for these original scents, there was Calm, there was Tears, there was Dave, and there was Juice. And Calm, Tears, and Dave got a splash release. Now this is the version 1 of the Splash, I think. So this does have a small amount of denatured alcohol in it, but from my understanding, I got these when they first dropped. Some of them are sold out already, but there's an ingredient supply chain issue, and Johnny is had to go back and reformulate the Splash. So there's another Splash version that's going to come out, and from my understanding, it's a little bit more or higher alcohol based for those of you that like more alcohol based splashes. So, but I got these versions, and it's the same version I have with, like, I think the white that I got that he did with conjunction with TRC, the razor company, and also on Oregon. And then I'm going to I'm going to be using the Aylsworth Razors Drakkant razor again for the 4th time. I'm gonna have to send this out tomorrow. This is gonna go on to Jeremy, the Traveling Shaver. So if you have not checked out his channel, he is also a fellow YouTuber, so this will go out in the mail to him probably tomorrow. And he'll be probably using this on his channel, so I will link his channel in the description below. So be sure to check out his channel if you're interested in more opinions on the razor. As with anything, it's all subjective. Different people have different faces, different skin types, different beard types, and hair growth, density, and all that kind of stuff. So he may have a different experience than me. So if you're interested in checking it out, I will link his channel in the description, like I said. This is kind of a lavender-based scent, so I went with my SmilezforMilez purple brush, synthetic knot on that. We're all lathered up in the Lancaster Razorworks bowl, and we are ready to roll. So let me wet the face, we'll get started. I did not shave yesterday. Didn't have time. I was also, to be honest with you, kind of had a bit of a rougher shave on Tuesday. I think the against the grain pass with this razor was just maybe a little too much. Maybe I got a little too confident in the razor. And so I took yesterday off, partly timing and partly just to let my face rest. And so I'm gonna use it again today. One of the things that I did different is I was using a Nasset blade in it. I am using a first used Astra Blue, the super stainless, in here to see if kind of maybe I get a different experience with a different blade. I know from time to time, the Nasset is one of my favorite blades. It seems to work very well in almost all of my razors, and I typically don't have too much of an issue with that. But I know that there are some razors that for some reason, work better with certain razor blades than others. So I thought I would kind of switch it up and try that variable in this. And so this is 3/16 steel. For those of you that have not seen any of the other videos, is a 3.5-inch handle. This is a prototype. One exciting thing I think for Caleb at Aylsworth Razors is that these prototypes were made, I'm not sure who they were made by, but they're 3/16 steel. It's a 0.73 millimeter blade gap. It is a neutral blade exposure. It's a 24-inch shave angle, so it's a very shallow arc on the top cap. So you get a more flatter shave angle versus if the top cap were more arched, like some of the other razors that are out there, which kind of affects your technique and how you shave. And so, but exciting news is that, and he announced it, I think yesterday on Instagram, that Yates Precision Manufacturing, who makes their own razors, is going to be the white label manufacturer for Caleb's razors, the Drakkant here. And I think, got on my nose there, I think that that may help him in some ways. I'm not sure who made the prototypes, like I said, but I would suspect that maybe the quality of the manufacturing and everything, so all of the geometry and specs will be the same as the prototype, but the fit and finish might be a little bit better, the tolerances might be a little bit better, so I think you're going to get a pretty high quality razor in terms of that. And this does go on pre-sale tomorrow on his website, so I will also link his Instagram and his website in the description below for those of you who are interested in checking out the pre-sale. It is a very beautifully designed razor in my opinion. So, so because of the shallower shave angle, I think it dictates more of a ride the cap shave angle than the typical 30 degrees. So you're a little bit more flat out here than you are this way if you're trying to go with the geometry that's given. So I will say, in my experience so far, you got to be pretty close to the right shave angle with this razor, in my opinion, in my experience. A lot of razors are more forgiving. So I would say that this is probably not the most forgiving razor. I got the cat trying to break down the door there. In terms of shave angle. So I think you kind of got to really get that. And I think that just comes with using the razor and experience. It's kind of hard to get that. I get a week with the razor. This is only my 4th shave, so but if you're used to shaving with like a Rockwell 6S, or something that's more in that 30 degree angle and has a larger angle, and mostly where I've got myself is either been in my chin or in sort of in this goatee area. And I did get myself on the cheek the last time, and that was all in the 3rd pass. So I decided to use the Lothur because 1, I haven't used the splash yet, and 2, it's a soap base that I'm pretty familiar with. It's one of my favorite soap bases. So I wanted to use a soap base that I knew that I was more familiar with and working with. And like I said, during the shave, there's not really any blade feel that's appreciable. I think that, maybe I'll let the cat in. You guys want to come in? No? Okay. 2 cats. You know, it's kind of not like in the Blackland, Blackbird, you could get that blade feel. Some of the higher plates of the carve, you could get that blade feel because you've got the array of plates from carve from negative to neutral to positive blade exposure on the Christopher Bradley. So depending on the type of shave that you like, you can kind of get that blade feel. Or the Rex Envoy, you get that blade feel. So this is not one of those where you get the blade feel. I think like I said in my last video, it's a little bit more aggressive than you think. And it kind of sneaks up on you in that sense, and not in a bad way, just to me, it kind of maybe lulls me into a false sense of security because of the low blade feel and smoothness of the razor. But the blade is definitely there, I think, just because of the geometry of the razor. In terms of calm, this is a very, very nice scent. This was one of the first scents that Lothur released, and it's a nod, tears to men's mental health. Lothur is based out of the UK, And Johnny himself, the owner, went through some mental health stuff and really kind of wanted to acknowledge the lack of, I guess, awareness for men's mental health disorders and issues. And this is, I think it's a nod to an agency that he utilized. Tears is what do you call it? Not an abbreviation, but I'm drawing a blank here. But the T, E, the R, and the S mean something. So anyways, and I keep talking about tears. Dang it, calm. If I've said tears, I don't know how many times I've said tears. And I think about it, calm, I think is an abbreviation for a, what do you call it? If you know the word, put it in the comments below. You know what I'm thinking of. Anyways, calm is one of the original scents also. Tears was as well. To bring awareness to men's mental health. And this is a very nice scent if you like kind of that. It's a nod to clones of the past, as he calls it, but it's got, it's a citrusy bergamot. It's got lemon and mandarin with herbal notes. We are going to tempt fate here. So far, I've got a Nicholas shave going on. So we are gonna tempt fate here. You know, I watched DK Damnfine Shaves video the other day, and he was using a product from Hendrix Classic and Company, and he said a few times Highland Springs, and I chatted him in the comments. Here I am calling calm tears. So it happens, folks. But this is citrusy bergamot, lemon, mandarin with herbal notes, neroli blossom, lavender, jasmine on a musk accord. It's very, very well done. What I've seen sometimes in these, this kind of type of scent with the neroli and the bergamot, and I think it's kind of like an Italian type cologne scent, is it gets overly citrusy and overly lemony. And like, for example, to be honest, I find this Colonia scent from Ethos to be along these lines and have some of the similar scent notes, but this is very, very lemony. I think Johnny's done a nice job of toning down the citrus, kind of toning down the neroli so it doesn't get too florally, because I do find with neroli blossom, it's a white flower, so it could get a little florally as well. So sometimes you're either too citrusy or you're too floral, and I think this does a nice job of like kind of harnessing that floral and kind of, I don't want to say minimizing it, but putting it in the background, and then also toning down the citrus so it's not an in-your-face, over-the-top lemon scent. Just well-rounded, and the way it's done, I really appreciate it very much. All right, so we are gonna go against the grain. Now you could, you know, go like this, but so I'm gonna, one of the keys to not getting a nick, so typically what will happen when you get a nick or a cut is your skin will get caught in, either the blade sticks out too far, you nick something on your face, so it could be a blemish or whatever, or if the blade gap is larger, although this is not a very big blade gap, if your skin is not taut, you can get your skin kind of rolled into the blade gap. So you do want to definitely make sure your skin doesn't bunch up underneath the razor and the blade, and it stays taut when you're running the blade over it. I think that's been part of my problem in my chin. Sometimes that's hard for me to do on my chin. But anyways, this was one of my top scents of 2021. I just love this scent. Even though at the time there was no splash available. But all of the original scents I actually like very much. I don't know what's going on with Juice. I don't know if that's going away or it might be being kind of reformulated. I actually found that to be a nice scent. So I'm just being more mindful of pressure. And not using too much pressure. I mean, you still have to put the blade and the razor against your face, but you don't want to be pressing in on it. I don't do the traditional fool's pass on the mustache area. All right. Okay. I mean, let's get the neck. And so on my neck, my third pass is usually just kind of an odd angle cleanup because I have some hairs that grow in weird directions, particularly in this area of my neck. I would be very interested to see. I think the finish on the Yates razor will also be slightly different than this finish. It's not going to be in the stone wash. I know it might probably be in a bead blasted. It won't be polished. I think I know that. Okay, well, let's see. I think we're okay. All right, so let's rinse the face. I think we accomplished a bloodless shave today. I think. All right, I'm excited. Okay, I think we did it. I don't know if it was a blade change. I don't know if it was me paying more attention, a little less pressure, paying more attention to the angle, all of the above maybe. But we got a really nice shave in today. Again, this comes out for pre-sale tomorrow if you're interested. Give the splash a shake. I will say the scent strength on the Lothur is not, I wouldn't call it bold and banging. But it is definitely, I guess I would say, at least on the splash here and even on the soap, I'd say the soap's maybe around a 4-ish, but I'm gonna put the splash at a 5, 5.5. Very nice scent on the splash. So thanks for tuning in, folks. Hopefully you stuck around this long. Hopefully you enjoyed the shave. If you like anything you saw here, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, you made it this far, hey, awesome. Consider hitting that subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider hitting that subscribe button below and hitting that thumbs up button below if you liked anything you saw in the video. And thanks for tuning in today, folks, and we'll see you soon on the channel.